Hello students, in our previous session we have studied chapter number 1, that is living world. In this session we are going to start the second chapter, that is systematics of living organisms. So from olden days man studied different types of organisms. Then he compared the living organisms and then he collected the knowledge regarding each and every organism. Now there is vast variety of living organisms or diversity of organism is found on earth. So to study each and every type of organism, man tried himself, and then you know that biology is the branch of science in which study of living organisms is carried. So to study the different kinds of organism, a new branch developed and it is called as systematics. So systematics is one of the branch of biology in which there is study of similarities between organisms, then differences between these organisms, and also their evolutionary relationship is studied. Now evolution is a process in which gradual changes occur in living organisms and the organism becomes advanced. So this process of evolution is carried in all types of organisms. So in systematics, the evolutionary relationship between the organisms is also studied. The term systematics was introduced by the scientist called as G. Simpson in the year 1961. Then taxonomy is related to systematics. So taxonomy is one of the branch of biology in which the classification of living organism is carried. The process of classification is carried by considering the similar characters or the similarities between organism, then their differences, then their evolutionary history is also considered. So different organisms are classified into different groups. The term taxonomy was first introduced by the scientist called as A.P.D. Candoll. Now you know that classification is the process in which living organisms are classified by considering their similarities, differences, and reproductive characters are also considered. There are different systems of classification. Different scientists develop different systems of classification. In this, first one is the artificial system of classification. And this artificial system of classification was first proposed by the scientist called as Carolus van Linnaeus. So this artificial system of classification is based on non-evolutionary features like habit. Habit means the place where a particular living organism is found. Then there are different forms. Then color was also one of the criteria considered in the process of artificial system of classification. Then the next system of classification is natural system, and it was developed by two scientists called as Bentham and Hooker. Natural system of classification is based on the relationship between the organisms, or closely related organisms are properly studied, and their history or their ancestor म्हणजे काय, पूर्वज आपण म्हणतो की नाही, पूर्वज त्यालाच ancestor असं म्हणलेलं आहे. So the ancestors of the organisms were traced, and accordingly, by considering whether the organisms evolved from common ancestor, then what were the relationships between these organisms. So all these characters were considered in the natural system of classification. The next system of classification, that is phylogenetic system of classification. Phylogenetic system of classification is based on common evolutionary history. That means the organisms which resemble or are similar in some characters. In such organisms, their evolutionary history is considered in the process of classification. Then phylogenetic system of classification is based on taxon and category, or these are the criterias used in the phylogenetic system of classification. Now taxon means, taxon is a particular rank in the system of a classification. Then category or categories are the different steps in the process of classification. So phylogenetic system is based on common evolutionary history. Then the next topic is three domains of life. Now the meaning of domain is that in the process of classification, or there are different steps in the system of classification. At the higher level there is kingdom. So domain is the higher level of classification than kingdom, and three domains of life were proposed by the scientist called as Carl Woese in the year 1990. So Carl Woese classified the living organisms into three groups. Now here we see the chart. Now phylogenetic descent. Phylogenetic descent means the organisms have common ancestor, and from these common ancestor different types of organisms are developed. So here we will see the example. So here we will see regarding the three domains of life proposed by Carl Woese. Here we see a common ancestor, and from this common ancestor different groups of organisms evolved. The first one was bacteria, the second one was archaea, and the third one was eukaryota. Now bacteria as well as these organisms, that is archaea, are the prokaryotic organisms. Now prokaryotic organisms are those which are primitive, means they show unicellular structure. Now bacteria and archaea are the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means, pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. The organisms which show absence of nucleus, or if the nucleus is present, it is not well developed, and membrane bound cell organelles are also absent, like mitochondria, then Golgi complex. These membrane bound cell organelles are absent in prokaryotes. So such organisms come under the group that is prokaryotes. Then the next one is, or the third domain is eukaryota. In eukaryota, all eukaryotic organisms were included, like different types of plants, then animals were included in it. Now eukaryotic organism means the organisms which show presence of eukaryotic cell structure. In eukaryotic cell, the nucleus is well developed. Then membrane bound cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi complex are present. So these three domains of life was proposed by Carl Woese. Now during the evolutionary process, initially on earth there were more simple organisms or simple forms were found. And from these simple forms, during the course of evolution, different complex organisms. For example, initially there were number of unicellular organisms, but later on during the course of evolution, these unicellular organisms developed into multicellular or more complex organisms. Okay. The next topic is chemotaxonomy. It is the biological classification based on similarities and differences in the chemical composition or chemical constitutes of organisms. So organisms show different chemical substances, and based on these chemical substances, the process of classification is carried, and it is called as chemotaxonomy. For example, fungi show presence of a chemical substance called as chitin in their cell wall, while plants show presence of cellulose in their cell wall. So by considering different types of chemical substances, the living organisms are classified. Then the next topic is numerical taxonomy. In numerical taxonomy, there is analysis of taxonomic data by mathematical or computerized method. It means the number of similar characters, then the number of dissimilar characters are considered by using mathematical method or computerized method. Now the next topic is cladogram. Cladogram means in 3 domains of life we have seen the branching pattern in which there is comparison of organisms and their ancestors. So such branching pattern chart is called as cladogram. In 3 domains of life we have seen that there is a common ancestor, and from this common ancestor different groups of organisms have evolved, like bacteria, then archaea and eukaryota have evolved from a common ancestor. So cladogram is a branching pattern in which there is comparison of organisms and their ancestors. Now we will study phylogeny. Phylogeny is one of the tools used in the process of classification. Phylogeny means it is the evolutionary relationship considered by classifying living organisms. So the different evolutionary histories of different organisms is traced or considered, and accordingly the organisms are classified. Then DNA barcoding is one of the method used to identify and properly classify a newly discovered species. It has 2 main steps. The first one is collecting DNA barcode data of the species. That means the DNA from the newly found species is separated, and then it is matched. That is, the next step is matching the barcode sequence against the barcode library for identification. So such DNA from newly found species is matched with the barcode sequences present in the DNA barcode library. Now DNA libraries are the libraries where DNA of different organism is stored, and it can be used for different genetic experiments, as well as this DNA from the library can be used to identify and classify newly found species. Now the next topic is taxonomic categories. You know that taxonomy is one of the branch of biology in which there is collection, then identification, nomenclature and classification of living organisms. So there are different steps in the system of classification. These are called as taxonomic categories. The highest category or rank is kingdom, then division, then class, order, family, genus, and finally species. So, species is the smallest unit of classification. Now you know that species means it is a group of closely related organisms. They are similar in all morphological as well as their reproductive characters. So such smallest unit in the system of classification is called as species. Now the next topic is taxonomic hierarchy. Taxonomic hierarchy means different steps in the system of classification. It consists of taxon. Taxon is a group of any rank in the system of classification. Example, angiosperm, then example, dicotyledon, then monocotyledon. So these are the ranks in the system of classification. The taxon term was first proposed by the scientist called as H. J. Lamb in the year 1948. Okay. Now the next topic is units of classification. Units of classification are used in the system of classification. Here is an example of Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Its common name is China rose, and in Marathi it is called as Jaswand. So here is an example of the classification of China rose. Now the lowest unit in the system of classification is species. Now species is a group of organisms which are similar in all morphological as well as reproductive characters. Specific name of China rose is Rosa sinensis. Then the upper level is genus. The generic name of China rose is Hibiscus. The genus is a group of organisms which have similar morphological characters but dissimilar reproductive characters, or they do not interbreed among themselves. Then comes the family. Family of Hibiscus is Malvaceae. Then family is a group of closely related genus. Then comes order. Order of Hibiscus or China rose is Malvaceae. Then order is one of the unit of classification which shows presence of closely related families. Then series. Series in China rose is Thalamiflorae. So series is a group of closely related orders. Then subclass. Subclass is Polypetalae. Then subclass is unit of classification which shows presence of closely related series. Then the upper level is class. Class of Hibiscus or China rose is Dicotyledone. So class consists of closely related subclasses. Then comes the division. Division of China rose is angiosperm. And in the unit of classification, division is a group of closely related classes. Then the highest level in the classification system is kingdom. China rose show kingdom plenty. So kingdom is the highest level in the system of classification. So kingdom consists of closely related divisions. So here we have seen the different units of classification with the example that is Hibiscus rosa sinensis or China rose. So species is the lowest unit of classification. Then genus, then comes family, order, series, subclass, class, division, and the highest level is kingdom. So we have seen the units of classification. Now we will learn the topic, that is nomenclature. Nomenclature means giving name to properly identified object or organism. Then nomenclature consists of vernacular names and scientific names. Vernacular names are those, or they are also called as local names. Local names means, for example, an organism has one name in one locality or region, then it may have another name in another locality. Like a mango has different names in different localities or different regions. Then scientific names. Scientific names are generally given to each properly identified living organism. It may be plant, animal or microorganism. So one of the method of nomenclature called as binomial nomenclature was invented by the scientist called as Carl Linnaeus, and he gave details of the system of binomial nomenclature in his book called as Species Plantarum, written in the year 1753. So Carl Linnaeus first described in detail the process of binomial nomenclature. The process or method of nomenclature itself indicates that the scientific name consists of two parts. The first part is, for example, the scientific name of sunflower is Helianthus annuus. Then the first part is genus, that is Helianthus, and the second part, that is annuus, is species or specific name. So according to Carl Linnaeus, there are different rules in the system of binomial nomenclature. The first rule is that the binomials should be written in Latin or Greek language. Then the first part of the binomial, that is genus. So genus should be noun and begin with capital letter. Then second part consists of specific name or species. The species should be an adjective and begin by a small letter. Here we see small letter. Then the species or genus. Now I have written the scientific name of sunflower, that is Helianthus annuus, and I have underlined these two names or two parts separately. So when we write a binomial or scientific name, then it should be properly underlined separately. If binomials are printed, they should be printed in italics. Then genus and species should not have less than 3 letters and more than 13 letters. The name of the author should be written after the species. Now here is species. So after the specific name, the name of the author means the person who have identified that organism and classified it. So the name of such person or the author should be written in short in bracket after the specific name. So we have learned regarding the topic, that is nomenclature.